Ali, let's start the next one. The next speaker is Maftahur Rahman from Inosis Solutions. And let's turn this off. And Maftahur Rahman has a very interesting topic. He's calling it, do you have a hit list? So how many developers did you shoot? How many developers did you shoot?
Oh, not really.
So you aren't a good sniper, are you?
Of course I have.
You are a good sniper?
But this is not for killing the developer.
Thank God. Okay. So it's something to do with software development, I guess, right? All right. Okay. You know, let's see what he has to say about this.
Thank you. Okay. Welcome to you all. So that's my topic. Actually, I have asked you a question. Do you have a hit list? So let's try to explain that question. First of all, if we see in a SDLC in a very simplified format and the time distribution between various phases of SDLC, that we see the initial time allocation is like this. But as the time goes on, perhaps in the final phase we find that the time for testing is squeezing on. So it's a very little time for testers to test all test cases. But in the meantime, there are many questions to a tester and very many cloudy sceneries over here for head. Such as price calculation is okay, it does not lost data. So these are the questions around over the head of a tester. So he finally decided that okay, I will cover all those all those scenarios in my test cases. So he write down the test cases, and when he goes to execute his test cases, then he finds the time and task like these footballs. So very imbalance between the time and task. So when he finds his test cases, he looks like this picture. He is lost himself into his test cases. So just he asked the question, what will I do now? Okay, pulling his hair? Of course not. That's why a question comes to us. Actually, cannot we adjust the time, and cannot we break the breakout convention method, and cannot we be like, like whom? This man, actually Mr. Hitman. So what does he do? He has a very simplified checklist or hit list to him. Whenever on calls him, please hit the man. He finds the keys and he is ready with his machine gun. He shots on target. So, okay. We have seen in the rapid testing or exploratory testing that their tester do their test without escape. So if we add some value to the exploratory or rapid testing, then if we get some key points in our early stage of testing, then of course we can perform better within the short period of time. So that's why the concept of hit list is come to us. So what will be the content of a hit list? Basically, there will have two types of contents in a hit list. First of all, context dependent key points. That means some key points that will remain unchanged throughout the application. Actually, a tester has gathered this knowledge from his experiences over the test application. For example, the application might have a fixed parameter of price, account number, etc. There is an example. You can see the customer number should have some leading zero, but okay, it is shown in the grid rightly, but when the message comes to him, then he finds that no leading zero. So this type of information he should gather from his knowledge, and he should put in his hit list. Of course, he can also get some point like very many frequent critical bug occurring. So actually these will be his context dependent key points, and the second one will be independent key points. So these are the key points which will not depend on his domain, that means his testing application. But once he pick up the points, he can execute the points in every type of software. So actually, what will be in his independent key point checklist? So So first of initial state, we know every application has its initial state, so he should keep it in his mind that okay, I have got the application, I will test it. So what will he do? He just will perform some blank search, blank form submission. So if they have some error like null value problem or lookup or primary key, foreign key dependency, then of course it will come to him. Second is data type conversion. So he should keep his in mind that okay, I have got the application, wherever the input field, wherever the numeric field, okay, I will put string to numeric field or double to integer field, etc. Third one is data overflow error. So okay, I have an input field, I'll put the input as much as can. So for example, you have a input size like n, but you provided n plus m. We know that some database accept n characters very generally, and he truncates the rest of the character, that means the m characters. So if you put it in your mind, okay, I know the n character will accept easily, but m character is lost. So you should check this type of input. Another example is special characters. So there is add sign or some single quote double quotation or some alter plus n keys. Actually, these are some special characters. Okay, if it is diagonal query, then it will solve the problem easily, but some other process might fail to process this type of input. For example, another example, mathematical problem, 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3, what is the answer? 0.99 or 1. This should check in your application. File accessing error. So wherever you have file accessing error, try to upload, download, or save or read open file from access path. Another example, unplugged data connection and intermediate stop read. So basically, what I saw in this example, these are not the fixed objects, but you should have enough.
I think that was a great presentation, and it's very interesting how you had this so-called hit list. So you have all this in your head?
Yeah, of course I have.
You got a big head. What I mean is that it's pretty difficult to keep all this in your memory, right, when you're doing your testing. So how do you do that?
I find when the list is very enlarged and I cannot keep in all those in my head, then of course I pick up some key and write into the notepad or writing card, etc.
Questions?
Do you think this hit list could be given to the programmer so that he is warned beforehand?
Of course, sure, why not?
Then it's not a secret.
Of course, it's not say that. Actually, we want to do the actually product, not individually.
Yeah, but it's the point. I mean, Rizwan was there saying he was going to do the code review, so that even could be done by the programmers. This can be done by the programmers, but you know, programmers, can they do everything, you know? Or
no. No. But what happens when the hit list, I mean, do you keep revising it? Because what will happen is the developers will start developing, you know, they'll start doing the coverage of the hit list. Do you keep revising it every release, or how do you handle that?
Of course, is demand on the application or product. Okay, some key points and common point I keep remain unchanged. But yeah, it will vary from application to application. If I find some different application, then I will pick up the point and of course revise my list. Yeah.
Yeah, and your hit list becomes more and more trivial because they've probably actually handled those cases. So are you revising it, adding more, those kind of things?
Although developer uses, but we believe that of course there will have some problem or leak between the implementation of the hit list. So I will gonna pick up the rest, some other point from there. Actually, I will observe the characteristics of the software. If I see okay, all the hit list passed here, okay, I will just pick some from other critical point which might be valuable for this application.
Yeah, I just want to add with Maftah on one point. Actually, that's a very good point that when the developer is trying to, although it's the ideal, it's the ideal situation actually. The developer is trying to maintain that hit list when he's developing the application. So as a result, at the day end, when he's going to perform his hit list, you'll find that everything is passing okay. So that is the scale up of the tester's level that he needs to figure out that this type of application, the hit list that he just gave, it doesn't cover everything. So he needs to figure out what I was missing before. I need to add that, and next time on, I will work on that. And that's called actually the QA in ideal cases. That the role of QA is not to find more bugs. It's making the product stable. So if it is a part of helping your developer community to learn the mistakes, not doing the repeated mistakes, so you will helping them, and then you are trying to figure out new arenas that you have not yet covered to test. Then I am trying to pull out this and inserting in my new hit list, and then again I am trying to attract my developers. Okay, brothers, you are doing this type of mistakes still again and again. So this kind of thing. So actually that's the ideas that actually is going behind the hit list. That within the extreme time pressure, I am not missing something. Even my developers missed it. So actually, that was one of the view.
Okay, guys, the bearded guy who talks quite often, or interrupts quite often, and gives explanation quite often. He does that when someone from Inosis comes up. Brotherhood.
Hey, I also asked question on Intekha.
Yeah, you were fighting with Intekha. All right. Thank you, Maftahur. It was a great presentation.